Hello, welcome to Pike Creek Farm and welcome to week 2 of February. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining. My name is Renee and I live in the thumb of Michigan, and I like to do videos on canning and vintage recipes and baking and how I'm living here right now. I'm trying to be thrifty and thrive at the same time. That's my theme for this year, thrifty and thriving. So to go along with that, I have decided to have Frugal February. It's different than the Pantry challenge. I am going to the grocery store some, but I'm keeping it very frugal and on focus and on task and with the end goal in mind. March, I want to do some more restocking, but right now I'm trying to still use up some of the excess. I'm finally getting my freezer in here where it's not stacked so full, and the outside ones are still pretty full. So I'm just trying to give them some breathing room and to get some space, because before you know it, it's gonna be summer and I'm gonna be putting stuff back in there. So thank you for being here today for week 2 of Frugal February. And things went well last week. I stuck to my meal plan, except Jim's mouth was feeling a little bit better and he wanted a burger. I went, okay. So instead of the one casserole I was gonna have 2 nights, we did burgers 2 nights in a row. And oh my gosh, those venison burgers were so good, so good. So they kind of changed my budget a little because I had to buy buns, but it wasn't bad. I'm still under my goal. So I just wanted to talk today about my strategy and how do I come up with what I'm doing. And what I do is I look in the freezers, I look in my pantry, what I have excess of. I look at things I should use up and try to develop a menu plan that we like. That's something that's important. So that's one of my strategies. Is first I look at what we have. And then when I have an idea of what we want to make, maybe I need to get some ingredients that I don't have. So then I like to look at the sale flyers. I always have my book that I go through, that I write, everything down on that I'm going to be doing, and the sale flyers, what I'm going to buy from each store, because it's different things every time. It's not always the same. So I wanted to show you just a few things over here. I just put some things here to show you. Like, I have quite a bit of pumpkin still in my freezer. And I was going to do a pecan pie today because I have one pie crust that needs to be used up. I got these on sale. I do make homemade sometimes, but for the holidays and for quick desserts for church, those were convenient. So Jim's like, pecan still sounds too challenging for me. So pumpkin. I did this all last fall. It's measured out 2 cups. So I was getting out my spices, my cinnamon and ginger and ground cloves, and I'm gonna make a pumpkin pie. The other thing that I was looking at is I had in my refrigerator my Amish friendship starter. So I pulled that out and I made 2 loaves of bread. One I put in the freezer. I double bag it. This works out perfect. The artisan loaves we use for toast mainly, so it works out perfect. So we've gone through half of this so far, and I might make some bread or something before I put this in the fridge, like banana bread or cinnamon bread. So there I've been using some things that I have. The other thing is this week I did get 2 really good sales. I know I had mentioned Myers had pork butts on sale. I got 2. One is much bigger, and I put that one in the freezer, and I'm gonna pull it out someday and let it thaw, and I'm gonna can that one up. This one is smaller. I mean, it's 5.5 pounds. I'm gonna cut this one into country ribs, and we're gonna have some of them this week, and I will package up the others for in the future. The other deal I got is a local Mennonite meat market. They had pork chops, $1.79 a pound, 10 pounds or more. So I got, it was just over, it was like 11 pounds. It was $21 and a little bit of change. There was 21 pork chops in there. So I packaged them up 2 to a meal. One package has 3, and so there's 10 meals there for $21, $2 a meal. That is a deal in my book. And we were totally out of regular pork chops. I have some smoked ones, but regular pork chops, I had none in my freezer. So now I'm gonna have my pork restocked in the pantry, in the jars, also some in the freezer. So I will be good on pork for a while. That was my deal. So what I do every week, Saturday, there's a sneak peek for the Myers, which is the local grocery store that does a weekly sales flyer. I check that. We have a couple of meat markets. I always check those. And like this week, Myers, there wasn't really much that caught my eye, except they have strawberries, 3 for $5, 3 1-pound packages. But I'm keeping an eye out because a lot of times they put it down to like $1 a pack. So it's like a flash sale. They put it out there. But the other thing I like to do is I don't go just to the Walmart and the Myers, which are the only 2 local ones we have that are big. I go to like the local meat markets. There's a local meat and veggie market. During the season, I can shop, farmers markets and stuff too. There is a Mennonite meat market, and they have sales. Like that's where I got the pork chops. And whenever they put that kind of stuff on, I always say, yes, I would like some. And it's a little bit of a drive, but it's enjoyable. It's a real pretty drive. We have Dollar General here, and I think every town almost has a Dollar General. On Saturdays, they have their $5 coupon, and you go and shop their sales, and they have online sales and in the store sales. You can get some good deals. The thing that I do is I have the Flash Food app on my phone, and Myers is a participant. But if you go to the Flash Food app and you put it in and put your zip code, it will tell you the stores like in like a 100-mile radius that are included. So like the ones down in Bay City, I don't go to them regularly, but if I'm going to be going through Bay City, I check the Flash Food app. Sometimes they have boxes of mixed fruit, mixed vegetables. They have cookies and breads, all the bakery items. Sometimes they have meat items. They also, here locally at least, they always have like the charcuterie type meats and cheeses. So if we're having an event, it's a great deal to go get it then. So that's one of my tips is shop the sales, the discounts, the markdowns. Look at the veggie markdowns. You can get green peppers and red peppers a lot of times. It might be like one spot. My mom would always buy them, cut them up, and throw them in the freezer. Here's from our garden, but these I grab out just by the handful. I flash froze them, and I use them in any kind of recipe. I did sweet and sour chicken last week, and I did do a video on that. That'll be upcoming. This morning I did like a Western scramble. I just grabbed a handful of those. Now the next thing is my budget breakdown. I try to stick to $400 for groceries. That's just my groceries, the food items, not the paper products or anything, but not the dog food, the chicken food, but that's the grocery type items. Last week, I spent $75.82, so $76. This week it was $85.87. That included getting the pork. So that was, the big chunk of it was in buying the pork. And then there was just, Myers had the bag salads, like the chopped ones by Taylor Farms. 3 for 10, 4 for 10. So I got those. I like those for lunches, and they're just real convenient. And there was some other odd items that we needed, you know, just grocery items that we needed to fill in the gaps. I think I needed some cheese. Needed half and half. Oh, we needed milk. Milk's important in this house. So that brings me up to, for the first 2 weeks, $164.39. And I'd like to keep it at about $300 for the month. I'm going to share my plan with you. Now, today is Super Bowl Sunday. We're not doing anything. We had a pretty good snowstorm and we're just staying tight. I have chicken breast. I'm gonna make them into chicken breast sandwiches and air fry them. My husband likes them, and they get nice and crispy, and I put like a nice thick coating on them. It's gonna be more than we need tonight. So the leftovers we'll have tomorrow, and I will use it in salads and stuff. It'll all get eaten. Tuesday, I don't work. Woohoo! I'm off Tuesday and Thursday this week. I work 3 days. Tuesday, I'm gonna cook some of those country ribs. I haven't made them in a long time. Jim loves them, and they're nice and soft. So I am going to put a rub on them, cook them low and slow in the oven, and then add a sauce at the end. And we still have some potatoes downstairs from our garden. I need to get them used up. They're starting to sprout. So I'm gonna use some of those. I'm not sure if I'll make mashed or boiled potatoes. I love boiled potatoes. But we'll use some potatoes, and I'm gonna use a jar of my succotash I made, corn and lima beans. I haven't tried a jar yet. We ate all the frozen lima beans, but not those jars yet, so I'm gonna try a jar of that. And of course, then we're back to my, cook once, eat twice. So we're gonna have leftovers the next night. That's my hope. Hopefully he doesn't eat them all. Thursday, we have to go down to the Metro Detroit area for an appointment. And so we're gonna eat lunch out, which we don't do. So it's kind of like a date, So I'm not sure if we're gonna need to have much for dinner that night. Maybe we'll have leftovers. If not, I will just grab a jar of soup from downstairs. I have cowboy soup, I have navy bean soup, and a sandwich if, the grilled cheese if someone wants that. But that's my plan for Thursday. And then Friday is Valentine's Day. Yeah, so there is a place up here. We love their pizza. It's a little pricier, but it's wonderful pizza. So we like to go get a pizza from there just a couple times a year, go for a drive along the lake shore and just spend time together. And usually we get either mushrooms or cheese sticks, and we eat those while we drive and then have the pizza when we get home. So I'm going to suggest that to him on Friday. And then Saturday, my plan is I'm going to open up a jar of the American goulash that I canned in quarts, and I have macaroni that needs to be used from my pantry. I need to restock some of my pasta, so I'm trying to use the old. So I'm gonna make goulash. And we're gonna see how this home canned American goulash is. Thumbs up that it's good, because it was amazing before it was canned. So that's the plan for this week. There will be a video upcoming with the chicken sandwiches. That will be on Tuesday if everything goes as planned. And I hope that you are having a good time and during Frugal February and feel like you're making progress and being successful. And if the first week was a bust, that's okay. Just hop on now. So I don't know if I showed you. This was $1.49 a pound. In the original, I saved $8.28. I'm gonna go make pumpkin pie and cut up country ribs. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you got some great deals and had fun planning your menu. We'll see you next time at Pike Creek Farm.